when I was a young boy, my brother used to make fun of me because my dick is 2 colors.
Whoa.
I don't know how this happened.
News. I've never heard about this.
You've seen my dick. Don't act
Yeah, but
like
I don't remember it. I don't remember the colors.
You may not have looked at it as closely as I would have liked you to, but you've seen it, and for some reason, like one half is brown and the other half is like a lighter skin tone, almost like a pink.
Is this a Jewish thing?
I personally don't know what it is. As a child, I thought I was fucked up. I thought like my dick was weird because my brother used to make fun of me and call me brown and pinkers, right? My brother used to call me brown and pinkers when I was a child.
I wasn't mean to laugh.
And when he would say that, like immediately, I'm crying. My life's over. I have a weird dick. Like, ruined my life, right? Obviously, as an adult, you grow past those things.
Right.
If somebody called me brown and pinkers today and I cried about it, I would be mentally ill.
Yeah.
I would consider myself mentally ill.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So this is what I'm saying. Like everyone has things.
Words.
Everyone has their things.
Can we talk about your penis a little bit more though?
Yeah, let's talk about my
now that you've had this this moment, because I've never heard you talk about it. I didn't think about it when I looked at it, but like,
you want to see it?
No, I don't want to see it. But was that a selling point with women?
You know, I've never had anyone comment on it. Because I think
did the pink kind of flesh down a little bit as it got older?
Nah, it's definitely still 2 colors.
Okay.
Brown and pinkers is alive and well. But I have since, like, I remember watching like a LimeWire downloaded fucking porn.
Oh yeah.
And the dude had a brown and pinkers.
Were you so proud?
A dick like mine, and I was like, whoa! Other people have these dicks.
There might be someone listening right now that says, and you just help them through their hard moment.
Yeah. Amen, brother. We're going to get through this together.
No pun intended.
So I think that for the most part of my career hooking up with women since I started at 17 until now, I think most of the women that I've hooked up with and that have seen my penis are women that have seen a lot of penises.
Yeah, well,
you know? So I got to imagine that
they've run across a couple brown and pinkers.
Right. They've seen it. When it got to mine, they're like, oh, he's one of those.
He's one of those. What I mean? Like an uncircumcised dick.
Well, all right. Battle raps cause I've shaken grown men to the point that they can't even face their own friends. That's why they rhyme about jewels, not life, cause the ice on which they skating is so thin.
All right, welcome back. Surprise live stream earlier than normal. Friday, 2:39 p.m. Strategy and DOLO show. We're back at it. Is it the Strategy and DOLO show?
It'll always be the Strategy and DOLO show.
I don't know.
The S&D, the Suck and Dick show. No, it'll always be the Strategy and DOLO show. Even if our brand starts to transform. I mean, this is 2022. Everything's transforming.
It's all about trans.
If you're not non-binary, what are you?
Yeah, so we had to add a non-binary person to the lineup.
Well, basically. Yeah, that's what we're doing. We're not changing. We're just adapting with the times. We have a multi-ethnic,
They basically said, guys, you've had a good run, but it's a little too white in here on Friday nights, and we need to mix in a little something else to spicing it up a bit.
And so tonight we have Juicy J. That's going to be lit. So I just got the track listing for him tonight. Guy's doing 10 songs. 10 songs?
You got all of his music, so I don't have to worry about it?
Yeah, you don't got to worry about it. I got the air horns and explosions on lock. We'll go, champ.
Perfect.
I'm fucking excited. I know you're excited, but you're not maybe as excited as me.
Yeah.
I grew up on 3 6 Mafia. I even like Juicy J as a solo artist. I even like the fucking song he did with Katy Perry. I'm a Juicy J fan. Chronicles of the Juice Man was like one of my favorite CDs in high school.
Yeah, don't show your age or anything. But here's the thing. For such a legend with all these tracks and all these accolades, and he's been in the game and he's paved the way, and Juicy J, blah, 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 why the fuck doesn't he have a DJ?
Maybe he doesn't want to give somebody else money that doesn't even know how to hook up their equipment, because every other person, I can't imagine they're paying their DJs. All these other DJs with the exception of
Waka came through with Who Kid, and I gotta imagine Who Kid's getting paid.
well, yeah, Who Kid actually knew how to hook up his equipment. He didn't really understand what the red line meant in the fucking mixer, but outside of that, he knew how to hook up his equipment.
He definitely skimmed over that page in the manual.
Yeah.
He figured out how to hook it all up, and then from there, it was just all.
He was like, the more colorful lights, the better, you know?
Yeah, if you can get into the red zone, that's where you want to be.
I feel like he's the kind of guy who doesn't stop at a yellow light. He just plows through the red light.
Yeah. Well, they don't really do the red light thing here in Houston often either. So
I will say that is something I noticed out here. People don't like to stop at red lights. But I don't think it's out of a safety concern that you might find in parts of Chicago. I think it's more that they just don't understand what it means.
Yeah. Well, it's not that I think they get it, but they're kind of like
Cajun?
Well, and I respect them for it. They're kind of like, I play by my own rules.
Okay.
I don't play by the rules that were given to me and set up and put into place for safety measures. I play by my own rules.
I can respect it. And also, police don't really like to do anything here, so you're pretty much safe to not get a ticket.
The police really don't enjoy doing anything here. And I like
which
that
is
a little
nice.
bit.
It's very nice because I will say, like, in some, like, especially when you get out of Chicago and like the suburbs and shit, you feel like you're prey. Like you are being hunted by the police. Like they're around every corner just waiting for you to do something out of line so they can write you a ticket for it.
They're
because
bored.
their little fucking kangaroo court in Park Ridge or whatever fucking shithole suburb it is only makes income from fucking people getting tickets. I swear to God, I've never had more tickets in my fucking entire life than the time I lived in Chicago. The 20-year span. Well, granted, which was most of my life. But I will say, I remember one year that I had $3,500 in tickets. I ended up getting the boot and got my car impounded. Whole nother story, but $3,500 in parking tickets in 1 year. Because I was kind of like young and I was kind of like, yeah, these things, like, what the fuck does that really mean? You know what I'm saying? But they add up quick.
They add up quick, then they boot you, then they fucking tow you, and then they charge you for the boot, and then the time on how long your car stays in the tow yard is also.
You don't have money to pay for it today? Well, it's going to be an extra $100 tomorrow and an extra $100 the next day. And I've actually had multiple cars impounded in Chicago, and if it has. Yeah. You get 30 days, and then they fucking crush your car.
Stop.
Yeah.
Have you had your car crushed?
I had a 95 Lincoln Town Car.
And then
in 2003, I had just moved from Indiana, and it had out-of-state plates. And the rules are, and I didn't have the money to get it out, but the rules are if your car was in the impound for more than 30 days, they crush it. And that fucking car that was my first, like, legit lowrider. God, I'm going to cry.
How many lowriders have you lost to natural catastrophes like crushing and fires?
Crushing and fires. Well, I've lost 2 in fires. Lost 1 in a crushing.
What? When they crush your car because you never come to get it, does that absolve you of your debt to the city, or they still are expecting their $3,500 plus 30 days?
Well, this wasn't the $3,500 ticket spree, but that was another car that got impounded. This one, I don't remember. I can't remember if I ended up paying. I mean, this is 20 years ago, so it's been a while.
Yeah.
But I do definitely remember them crushing the car, and how like dumbfounded I was. Like you can't just crush it. Like at least auction it or do something. They're like, no, we crush them.
Yeah, but I do like living in a place where they don't prey on the citizens.
Absolutely, 100%.
I enjoy that, but also at the same time, that is the culture of Chicago. Is like that hustler mentality.
You're
like,
being hustled by the city every fucking step.
You're being hustled by the city because that city was built by hustlers. Like those people came up hustling and working the system and getting money and all that shit, and they made it all the way up, and now it's trickling down. There is something good to be said about growing up in that environment and learning how to be a hustler, a well-motivated person.
Yes.
You don't find that much out here.
Yes.
You don't find those.
There's not the hustle. People don't have the fucking fire under their ass here. That's for sure. But it's also proven that in the wrong hands, that fucking abuse of power can really dilapidate a city very quickly.
I mean, Lightfoot has done a great job at dilapidating.
If she's looking to ruin the city,
Chicago.
she should get a statue for sure. I mean, she just introduced that she's last night, I believe, or yesterday, that she is building a casino in Chicago. And for anyone who lives in any town or any city that has a surrounding suburb that has a casino, you will know that any town that gets a casino gets quickly absorbed and destroyed. When everyone who lives in this town can just walk to the fucking casino and fulfill their lust for gambling, and the house always wins, so it just sucks the fucking town dry.
Well, I think that it's if I gotta imagine, Lori Lightfoot has driven this city into a deep fucking pothole.
Oh yeah, of debt,
debt
for
and,
sure,
and just crime, and it's not looking good. So if she can implement some sort of income, which is what the casino will give them, it'll give Chicago a lot of money for sure.
Hey, there's your hustler mentality you love so much.
It's gonna make her look good, and she's not thinking about any of the bad. All she's thinking about is the money that's coming in, and it's fucked.
It's so fucked.
It's fucked that I don't think it'll happen.
It'll happen. It's already going into.
No, I don't think it's official. I think
Are the Bears still leaving too? Is that?
I think there's talks of it. I don't know.
I mean, you could write a fucking entire book series on how fucking much shit this girl has done to the city.
Is she a girl?
I thought about that as I said that. I was like, you know what? I'm only calling her a girl because I know she doesn't want to be called a girl. So you're a fucking girl. Remember when she claimed she had the biggest dick in Chicago?
Well, she kind of does.
Who's
got a bigger cock than Lori?
I mean, I've never seen her strap on, but the girl's like 3 feet tall, so it can't be that big. It'd probably like tip her over if it was like that large.
Maybe Daisy Taylor has a bigger dick than Lori Lightfoot.
Who is Daisy Taylor?
That's your girl, dog.
Is that my girl?
Don't pretend like you weren't riding around in the car with me all day for the last 3 hours.
I didn't remember the name of
about Daisy Taylor.
I didn't remember the name of the trans porn star that you were so admiring. Wait, so did you jerk off to her porn or what?
Not yet.
Okay.
I haven't gotten there yet.
But you are gay.
I'm gay. That's not even a question anymore. I'm definitely gay. Right. But
is it gay though if it's trans?
That's what I'm trying to figure out here. Because here's the thing. I was thinking about this while I was watching the Flagrant 2 podcast that had Daisy Taylor on it, and this dude who I forgot his name, but he is literally infatuated by this tranny porn star. He's not gay. He's got a girlfriend. He's like, I love having sex with women.
Hold on, time out. Just because they got a girlfriend doesn't mean they're not gay.
Okay, let me elaborate. Let me paint the picture for you. This guy loves trans porn, trans women. He loves watching porn where women with huge dicks, they have to have huge dicks. They can't have small dicks. Small dicks are out. I get.
Listen, if I wasn't born with a dick, I definitely want the biggest dick I could get.
But even watching porn, normal porn, you're not like the guy.
Oh no,
you're
that's
not watching
for sure.
Small dick porn.
No, it's not. The guy's got to fucking destroy the girl.
Right. You're envisioning that you are this dick on the screen.
Right.
That's your dick, you know? So it's got to be a big one. So
it's got to be a big one.
I get that. So that part I'm with him on. You know what I'm saying? If there's going to be a dick on screen, it's got to be fat.
Right.
And juicy. So I get that. But he likes watching trans women with big dicks get fucked in the ass by other dudes.
Okay.
That's his thing, right?
Okay.
And he claims that it's the greatest porn ever made because you have everything. You got tits, you got fucking, he claims that the ass is
not
as good
everything.
as a pussy.
You're missing the one key ingredient that I like in my porn, and that's vaginas.
Yeah, I mean, I feel that. But here's the thing. I'm trying to be more like, as this guy is explaining
You're trying to be open-minded.
I'm trying to be open-minded. As this guy's explaining it, I'm trying to not fight it. I'm trying to see what he's seeing. You know what I'm saying? And that makes me feel more gay than I even am.
You're like, wait, now maybe I really am gay?
But here's the thing. If somebody presented you with an argument on why it would maybe one day, you could kill somebody and be righteous in doing that, right? Like you could murder somebody that's trying to kill you and your family. You could kill them and be like
a hero.
A hero, and it's justified, and like you would do that because you had to, right? Now, agreeing upon that doesn't make it that you're going to go out and kill somebody today. You know what I'm saying?
You're not a killer, you're just capable.
Right. You see where I'm getting at here? This guy explaining that tranny porn is the greatest porn in the world. I'm kind of like, well, let me see. It doesn't mean I'm going to go jerk off to tranny porn tomorrow and fuck a tranny, but I'm trying to broaden my horizons here.
Did you just compare watching tranny porn to killing people?
Yeah, I did. I did. And I think it made a lot of sense.
I get what you're saying.
You feel me, though?
I feel like the trans community probably wasn't hot on that take, but I understand where you're coming from a good place.
I'm supportive.
Okay, I get it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about, I mean, listen, if you want to watch trans porn, you should. I've watched some weird porn in my day.
There's
you know
a lot
what
of
I'm
weird
saying?
porn.
There's a lot of categories out there. I've seen Homer Simpson fuck Marge.
You watch those, huh?
I've seen them.
You're the guy that clicks on those?
I'm not like a guy that watches them, but
I
will say some of the earliest porn I can ever remember seeing as a child was Simpson porn.
Yeah.
I remember a kid brought a printed out page to school from a computer, and I vividly remember it. It was Marge and Homer fucking in bed, and I was like, "Yo, that's fucking insane! How did they do that?" And this was just a drawing. Yeah. Now they got the whole animation.
You got horny from that? You saw Marge naked and you popped a little baby boner?
I don't know. Maybe.
Can you say baby boner, or is that
baby boner's a little far of a stretch? I was in kindergarten, so I was like a toddler dick.
You can't even pop a boner in kindergarten.
Oh, you can pop a boner when you're a baby.
No, can you?
Yeah.
You just, for no reason,
you don't have
all
any
of a sudden
children,
your heart,
so sometimes it's a baby
just
boner.
out here.
I feel weird talking about it, but yeah.
So let's talk about it.
It's human anatomy, children.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I don't have any kids. I don't know. And it would be weirder, I feel like, if I didn't have kids and knew all about baby boners,
That's
right?
true.
That would be a little bit more
That'd
weird.
Be very true. But you don't remember when you're a kid and before you even knew what to do with it, you're like, it kind of hurts, but it feels good at the same time.
Yeah. As a kid in like second grade, maybe. Like,
well, I'm talking kindergarten, so it's not really far off.
Is it? How far? What is after kindergarten? You go to first grade?
Yeah.
How does it work?
You fucking retard. Oh, shit. We're going to get banned.
Yeah, that's terrible.
This will get
Why would you? The fact that you even use that word, the fact that you even use that heinous word in these days and times is honestly unbelievable.
You know what? I actually used to not use that word until I met you. And I remember you calling me a retard and me getting offended by it.
You used to get mad.
Well, because I was in the fucking resource room classes when I was a kid.
You were retarded.
So I wasn't actually retarded, but I was very defensive about the word retard because no, fuck those kids. Fuck those kids. Because they were assholes to me. But because I was so adamant about not being considered one of them. But people thought I was because I drooled on myself.
Okay, and as an adult, right? That was as a kid, that was like a triggering thing for you. If someone called you a retard, right? Or retarded or whatever it is.
Trigger word.
It's a trigger word. You'd get upset about it. But now as an adult, you have grown and understood that words are just words.
Yeah,
and they're
but
not.
when you said it, it triggered something.
Right. But
just like if I saw Marge Simpson naked right now, it might trigger a boner in me.
It used to. Now it doesn't. Now you use the word, clearly. So you've gotten past that, which is what every grown adult is supposed to do about words that hurt them as children.
I see where you're going with this.
Do you see where I'm going with this? Let me tell you a story. Let me tell you a personal story about a word that used to hurt me. I may even consider it my N-word, my personal N-word.
Okay, what do you got?
When I was a young boy, my brother used to make fun of me because my dick is two colors.
Whoa.
I don't know how this happened.
News. I've never heard about this.
You've seen my dick. Don't act
like but I don't remember it. I don't remember the colors.
You may not have looked at it as closely as I would have liked you to, but you've seen it. And for some reason, like one half is brown and the other half is like a lighter skin tone, almost like a pink.
Is this a Jewish thing?
I personally don't know what it is. As a child, I thought I was fucked up. I thought like my dick was weird. because my brother used to make fun of me and call me brown and pinkers, right? My brother used to call me brown and pinkers when I was a
Sorry, I
child.
wasn't mean to laugh.
And when he would say that, like immediately, I'm crying. My life's over. I have a weird dick. Like, ruined my life, right? Obviously, as an adult, you grow past those things.
Right.
If somebody called me brown and pinkers today and I cried about it, I would be mentally ill.
Yeah.
I would consider myself mentally ill.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Almost an R word.
Almost an R word. So this is what I'm saying. Like everyone
Words
has
are
things.
words.
Everyone has their things. That
Can we
upset
talk
them.
about your penis a little bit more though?
Yeah, let's talk about
So
my
now
cock.
that you've had this this moment, because I've never heard you talk about it. I didn't think about it when I looked at it, but like,
You want to see it?
No, I don't want to see it. But was that a selling point with women?
You know, I've never had anyone comment on it because I think
Did the pink kind of flesh down a little bit as it got older?
nah, it's definitely still two colors.
Okay.
Brown and pinkers is alive and well. But I have since, like, I remember watching like a LimeWire downloaded fucking porn.
Oh, yeah,
and the
great.
dude had a brown and pinkers.
Were
The
you
dude
so
had
proud?
a dick
Were you-
like mine, and I was like, whoa, other people have these dicks.
There might be someone listening right now that says, and you just help them through their hard moment.
Yeah, amen, brother. We're gonna get
Nope.
through this together.
No pun intended.
So I think that for the most part of my career, hooking up with women since I started at 17 until now, I think most of the women that I've hooked up with and that have seen my penis are women that have seen a lot of penises.
yeah, well,
You know? So
yeah,
I got to imagine that
they've run across a couple brown and pinkers.
right. They've seen it. When it got to mine, they're like, oh, he's one of those.
He's one of
you
those,
know
like,
what I
like
mean?
an uncircumcised dick.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's like
I won't say the name, but a friend of a friend, she was dating a guy, and apparently he had a uncircumcised penis. And for women, I'm sure there are some women who like that.
a little extra skin to play around in there with.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't touched too many uncircumcised penises.
I have.
But from what she was saying, it was something like she couldn't look past. And I'm like, I've seen uncircumcised dicks in porn. It doesn't look that much different, right? It's just a little bit extra skin that you can. It seems easier to jerk off without lotion, if I got to be honest.
Yeah, you got a little.
There's like some movement.
It's like the cocking of a shotgun.
Cock of the cock.
Yeah, it's pre-built in fucking.
It doesn't seem
slide
like
on
all
it.
bad to me. I don't know why we all get it cut off, but
I'm gonna be honest. As a gay man,
yes, I'm sorry.
I don't know that I'd want to put an uncircumcised penis in my mouth. If I had to choose, if I was looking at two dicks in front of me, one was circumcised, the other was not, I might go with the circumcised one.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It just looks a little bit. It looks like a little bit more clean ride.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It like.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
It almost feels like eating a mint with the wrapper on it still. You know, like I want to take the wrapper off before I eat the mint.
Yeah, does that affect the sensitivity? Because the only part of my dick that I can really feel when I'm getting pleasure or when I'm pleasuring myself even is around the tip of my dick or the head of the dick. You know what I'm saying?
The head
so
of the dick,
if
yeah.
the head of the dick is covered, is it less sensitive?
Well, here's what I've heard about uncircumcised dicks is when you do get the boner, it's like the turtle coming out of the shell. Like that hood comes back, the hood gets pulled back, and now it's just kind of camouflaged in with the rest of the shaft, I feel like.
So then you got to pull the
head
skin
pops
back?
out.
Or the whole mushroom comes out.
The whole mushroom comes out.
Okay, so where's the skin go?
Like
Just
a blossoming
kind of fucking,
flower.
so where's the rest of the skin go? It just falls down?
I think it sort of spreads out. It's sort of like, you know, as if like the way that when you take a hood off of your head, it
Right.
sort of just lays on your
Okay,
back
okay.
nicely, you know?
So it kind of
It's not
puddles.
like
It
all
puddles at the
fucking
bottom of the
hood's
shaft.
Yeah, it sort of rests on,
Okay.
on the shaft.
Well, being that you're not uncircumcised, I'm not
Stretched
going to
out.
take all that you say for the truth. But, if anybody's in the comment section and you have uncircumcised penis, let us know. Are you happy with it? Do you wish somebody would have cut it off when you were a baby? I don't know.
There's a whole thing like anti-circumcised movement on the internet.
Well, that doesn't surprise me. There's a lot of things on the internet.
There's a lot of anti-things on the internet.
So let me ask you this. With the anti-circumcision community,
Yeah.
is this an anti-Semitic community? Because isn't it originally a Jew thing?
That's a good question. They may be
Anti-Semites.
They might be light anti-Semites. They might be like diet anti-Semites. They might be coming for the Jews through the back door. Like
Or the
Hitler came
front
through
door.
the front. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They're coming in the back door.
Yeah.
I'm all about that.
I'm trying to come in the back door as well.
So, what's like the root of this? Is this like we see this as defamation to children's penises, or is it like, this isn't natural? What's their take? How deep did you go?
I used to know the answer because one of my boy's ex-wives, I think it's his ex-wife, maybe it's his ex-girl, definitely baby mama. She was a big anti-circumcision girl, and I remember seeing it on Facebook. Like it's so funny that like the anti, like it looked like PETA videos, like. Those PETA videos where they try and get you to stop eating pork
Slow
because
motion,
it's just like terrible
pigs in
videos
black
of
and
pigs.
gray.
Yeah. This is like the same concept, same music, same scenes, except it's like baby dicks, and fucking circumcisions, and they just paint this terrible picture of how bad fucking circumcising kids is. It's all the same.
I've heard it as being barbaric, but you know what? I saw it on. There was a South Park episode once about the what do you call it? Bris? Christening? What do you call it?
Bris.
Bris.
When the rabbi bites your foreskin off?
Yeah, but like, but they're kids, so they're interpreting it how they would, and they're like at the end they're like, no, we just snip it so it looks bigger. And then I was like, does it make it look bigger? Would my penis seem smaller if I wasn't circumcised? And if so, and you're an anti-circumciser, you're a piece of shit for giving your kid a little dick. Because if it does make your penis smaller, that's child abuse.
That could be considered child abuse. We'd have to talk to Greg Abbott about that.
Yeah.
Because he is the voice of reason when it comes to child abuse.
Is Greg Abbott a big circumcised?
I don't know. He definitely is hung, though. I could tell you just by looking at him, he's hung as fuck.
The way that...
The way he rolls around...
He has to fucking tuck that dick underneath his chair somewhere. Yeah. He has like an extra drawer just for his dick.
Yeah. He's fucking hung.
Yeah.
That guy's definitely doing it. There's no doubt.
Shout out to Greg Abbott. What a fucking guy.
We gotta hang out with him one day.
I would love to. He seems like a fucking savage.
He seems like a good guy.
Him and old boy from Florida,
DeSantis.
I'll take either of them. I know we're not getting Trump back. I know it. It's fine. I've come to grips with it. But I'll settle for either one of those.
I don't even know if we want that. That's mayhem. Like
we don't want Trump back.
We can't have that much more mayhem. There's
we don't need
enough mayhem.
We don't need that. No more Trump. I'm over the Trump train.
I'm ready for the world to go back to normal, but it's not. It's not.
It'll never go back.
I don't want to be that guy that's like the doom and gloom. It's we're all doomed. It's all bad. But like what? Like when you woke up on what is it, Monday or Tuesday morning, whenever the whole Roe and fucking whatever abortion thing came up, like you wake up, you see one or two things about it, and then you just go, oh no. Oh, no.
Not again.
Like, I know what my whole day is going to consist of people's opinions.
Oh, and every fucking girl has to post a fucking meme. Ugh.
It's just like, at what point does something actually happen? Like,
well, they say none of this is really what it seems to be. This is all just ways to divide. Like, whenever we start getting along, somebody has to throw a monkey wrench in it. That's why the Roe versus Wade thing wasn't even passed. It was just leaked, and they leaked it just for the sole intent of getting people pissed off because they can't have us be happy for some reason. I don't know. I don't know what's going on, or I don't claim to know. I just call it how I see it, and that's all it's about.
It's all division. It's all fucked. It's all bad. I'm like, yo, I truthfully, correct me if I'm wrong, but I truthfully think that there has not been a party post-pandemic, post-March 2020, that has even come close to like the fun, good party energy
No.
of a party pre.
No, not at
March
all. Not at
2020.
all. I won't argue that. The energy is not the same. The people have changed.
Nothing is the same.
It's just not the same. And it's sad, but it's also a reality you kind of have to come to grips with a little bit, because
Yeah, I mean, times change. You can. It's
people change.
Except,
I think
you know what I mean.
I honestly believe this will go down in history as 2000, whatever you could say 9 even to 2020 or 2019. I'm sorry, was the golden era of nightlife. That was the golden era, because I'm telling you.
Golden era, like better than the 70s type shit.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying that the 70s wasn't their own golden era, but I think it was definitely way bigger, because, yeah, like when we think of 70s, we think of disco, right? But like not every disco was Studio 54. That's like one nightclub in the fucking world. Okay. All the other discos were like kind of shitholes in their own cities.
Yeah.
But they were around. But I'm saying like it was its own disco era where like nightlife was pushed to the next level. You know what I'm saying? And now we're there, like we have all these super clubs, but it's like it's not in the life's blood of the thing. Just kind of like the 80s. When the 80s came along, the discos were still around, but they weren't. Disco music wasn't really a thing anymore. People did the disco demolition. People
What
were
took
over?
What took over?
Like,
Disco died.
I would say
came in?
it directly went into like R&B and funk, and then hip hop came along out of that as well. And house music and stuff was probably like what filled in the shoes the most, but really. Hip hop kind of took over throughout the later 80s into the 90s, and then anyhow, not to get too far ahead of it, but I think now like we're just at the dawn of some new shit, and it sucks because like we are DJs, and like we were DJs at the best time, really. If I was a DJ now, I'd feel like, damn, I got cheated, but you might not even know it.
You
wouldn't know it
because you have nothing to compare it to.
That's true. But yeah, I believe that.
I feel like I'm being cheated right now because I know and I have something to compare it to.
Yeah, but are you being cheated, or can you just be happy that you were part of that?
I'm definitely happy that I was part of that, but I also feel like I wasn't done.
Well, yeah,
I feel like
none of us were done. It literally ended overnight, and not by anyone's fault. It wasn't even by the music's fault or anything like that. No, it was ended. It was by George a government.
Soros, if we're going to be honest.
It was ended by some entity telling the government to tell us to stay the fuck in our house and call it whatever the fuck you will. But
okay, but now we're back. Now we're back,
but things are not the same.
We still feel the scars of what had happened. But at what point do we accept it and leave it in the past and move on and start having fun again? Where is the fun?
Every time we start getting close to that, they're going to throw another monkey wrench in it, because whoever doesn't want us to fucking live happily and wants us to be divided is not going to give up. Because I'm telling you, the Roe versus Wade thing is such fucking bullshit. It was passed. It should be there. I'm not saying that we should do away with abortion. I've had a couple of abortions myself over the years. But all I'm saying is the whole fact of bringing it up, it's not even like acted into law. And if it's going to be acted into law, you fucking screaming on Instagram or Facebook isn't going to change that. We know that, right?
Yeah. And the craziest thing to me is the like, for the most part, every single person that was like a my body, my choice person,
right,
which I think is the truth and I think is the right way to do it, was also a vaccine mandate person.
I will, but see, this is where they want to clump it in.
Craziest thing.
This is where they want to clump it in, because I am not a vaccine person, and I am not a fucking hide in your house and cover up with 30 masks person. Never will be, never was. If you don't like it, suck my dick. We're all still here, okay? But I will say that when it comes to certain issues, I am divided from if I had to associate with a party. Like with I don't think you should outlaw abortions. That's it.
No, you shouldn't.
And if I get banned from my my hate group, my MAGA hate group, that's fine, because I don't give a fuck about any politics. I've never even voted in my life.
Yeah,
suck my dick.
Yeah, politics. That ain't it. You can't just pick a side.
That's what I'm saying.
It's
not that easy.
It doesn't work like that. You are an individual person who has individual beliefs, who are most likely handpicked from both sides.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And for them to force you to pick a side is the craziest shit.
I've
That
never
is
seen
the
a
most
politician you can-
divisional.
yeah.
Like,
You'll never see a politician you can
diversive-
trust.
I don't even know the
On
words.
either
I'm
side.
just throwing shit out right now. It's fucking nuts. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But I want to talk, like, because I can't confidently sit here and talk politics.
Yeah, well, yeah, of course not.
I can confidently sit here
Talk
and
music.
talk nightclubs
Yeah.
and talk, like, I mean, we're just in such a different place. Like, even in Chicago, I want to say that it's Houston. I want to say that I fucking just hate it here and it's here, but I just got back from Chicago and it's the same thing, man. I'm out on Sunday night and it's just not fun. It's not a good time. It's not people going out to break free of their week worth of work and efforts, and now they're letting loose to let their hair down and have fun.
Is it more that people? Do you think people are just going out because they're like, "This is what we do. We go out."
It's people going out to escape the reality that we're currently living in, which fucking sucks.
Which can be something that breeds life. I mean, if you look at the disco era, right? They were going out on the weekends to escape all their troubles and leave their.
What were their troubles?
Well, if you want to go back to the beginning, right? The disco community started in the gay community.
Yeah.
Right? And so, like, they were at that time very, outcasted. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you walk down the street holding a dude's hand, you could easily be the victim of a hate crime. You know what I'm saying? So they had their place where they could go and be free and be themselves, whatever that was, whether that was like singing Donna Summer or fucking doing coke off a guy's dick. They had it, right?
But that was them being themselves.
Right.
That was them being free. That was them releasing the shackles of, when I'm outside in society, I'm uncomfortable because people don't like me. That I get, and that makes sense, and that is a good place to breed anything. When you get people together and they can just be themselves and create or whatever it is, that I fuck with. I don't feel like that's what's happening here now.
Okay, so what do
you know what I
think it
mean?
is?
I don't
What's
think
the
it's
difference?
people. It feels like people like drowning their sorrows more than going to a nightclub and drinking to release what's inside of them, to finally be free. This feels like people drinking and trying to escape the shit reality that
Well,
we are in.
maybe this will birth an era of like dive bars. Think about the dive bars was like the thing, right? If you go any neighborhood in Chicago, you see an old style sign, you're gonna go in there and catch some fucking 9-to-5ers who are just drowning away the painful realities of their life. And maybe that's what this thing will shift to. And I can kind of see it. I mean, because nightclubs, though they are existent, it's not as much it as it was. It was like
It's not it at all.
everyone wanted to be in a nightclub.
I mean, we saw a nightclub group come to this city from Las Vegas,
yeah.
bring literally Vegas. You walk into that nightclub, you are in
it
Las
was tight.
Vegas. It's an amazing space, and it brought everything that a super club in Las Vegas
Big name
has,
DJs.
brought it to Houston, and it lasted for 3 weeks.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, the club's still there, but now they're doing
It's-
their own thing. They went the urban route. We all know that's the
Natural
life cycle
cycle,
of
right.
a nightclub.
it's almost like a star, right? Do you know anything about astronomy?
No, but I
Me
can
neither,
call my
but
ex-girlfriend and she'll tell you all about it.
That's astrology, but okay. So astronomy, studying of actual stars, not just fucking drawing
Not
shapes out of
moods,
constellations.
not moods and fucking wizards.
Yeah, not that. But if we're talking about astronomy, a star, and I'm probably quoting this wrong, so someone's fucking punching the air right now listening to this, which they should be because this is fucking a terrible show. What it is, when a star is about to like explode and collapse, it gets bigger and bigger, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like nightclubs are kind of like that. They get bigger and bigger, and then like when they're really collapsing, they get larger, and they just start to let anybody in, even some of the less desirables that are gonna fucking
Yeah.
hurt the place ultimately. And and then it collapses, and then it's done. And it's kind of like that with a nightclub. Like a nightclub starts out really like exclusive, you know what I'm saying? And then it grows bigger, and then it gets really busy and packed, and then the exclusivity is there, but it's also packed. And then the exclusive people kind of want to go somewhere where there's not so many people, and then they need to overcompensate for these big spenders that aren't there, and it just gets bigger. And then they say, okay, these people aren't spending money, so we need even more people. So then they get in the tables that spend money that are not the desirables. That I'm not going to say they're drug dealers, but who knows what they're doing. Anyways, and then at the end of the day, the whole thing just shuts down. And it's
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I like that. It almost feels like a train wreck. Like when you're in the middle of a mix and the record starts kind of falling off, and if you can keep your cool and just slightly shift it, you're good. But this feels like that moment when you sort of lose it and you go too far forward, then you come too far back, and then it's lost for good. And the only thing you could do is backspin out of it.
Or do you ever remember and this goes back to the fucking dive bars. You remember they had those little arcade games? You know, like it would have like a video poker, and then one of them would be like match the pictures.
Yeah.
Do you remember the game that was a monkey and drinking, and you had to keep him from falling out the bar stool? Do you remember that game?
No.
There was this game, and the monkey would do a shot, and then it would slide down the bar, and then he would like kind of get more fucked up, and then he would do like 2 shots, and then you have to like keep him from falling by like counterbalancing him, and he kind of like shifts in the middle, and then eventually falls out of his chair when you like overcompensate. It's kind of like oversteering, like the same thing. But I see what you're saying. I just picture that.
100%. No, yeah, it's the same thing. It makes sense. That's where it feels like we're at right now. It feels like it started train wrecking a couple years ago. COVID, because, I mean, even though I'm saying the parties pre-COVID or pre-2020 were amazing, there was still, you know, we used to talk all the time about what's next because it felt like something had to come.
Well,
like it was time.
Nothing is stagnant forever.
Yeah,
because it was always like that. Like, yeah, you're right. And I always would think of it like, you know, the Looney Tunes when the guy runs off the cliff and it's like he's good until he looks down and then he fucking looks down and he fucking drops, you know? And I never wanted, it was always taboo. It's like, you know, like this is great, but like how long can this really last? And you'd always be like, as long as we do it. And I'm like, all right, fuck it, let's do it. And we kept doing it. And
I mean, there will always be a need for a DJ. Right. Even if all of the nightclubs in the world collapse, if that whole economy collapses, there will be people that want to party and you will have to provide music for them.
But do you
underground?
But do you want to? And because you know where that direction is headed, if you're talking like that.
What are we talking?
That's the natural transition of a DJ into a fucking wedding DJ.
No,
when they get to a certain age.
Actually, you know what? Let's fucking talk weddings.
Let's talk weddings because I've only done a few, but it's a big part of DJ.
Weddings because
you were at a wedding.
I was at a wedding.
Did they have a DJ?
The world's worst DJ. The world's worst DJ.
And I bet he made 10 times what we make this tonight.
Oh my God. We got paid, bro. First of all, when I have my ceremony of love, which is what I'm calling it.
Okay.
When I take that step and I have my ceremony of love, it's not going to be called a wedding because when you call something a wedding, like if someone came to you and was like, DJ DOLO, can you do my wedding, please? You would automatically be like, yeah, $5,000. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just because it's a wedding. Yeah, if they said, hey, can you do my ceremony of love? You'd be like, what is that? And then they tell you.
I don't know how much to charge for that.
And then you'd be like, all right, I could probably do it for like $1,000, $2,000, whatever. You'd come up with a number. But just hearing that it's a wedding, hearing the word wedding, you're like, desirable. I'm on it. $5,000. Let's go. And they're like, oh, yeah, you match the same price as everyone else. You can do it because you're better.
Do you throw in a flashy light at that?
Bro, just calling it a wedding makes it so fucking expensive for no goddamn reason, which puts the pressure on the actual wedding itself to be the greatest thing ever. Like, you know, it takes all of the actual love and good times out of the wedding. It sucks it out because you paid $50,000 for all this extravagant shit, and you got the DJ and you got the photographers, and every picture has to be amazing, and it's all about the video, and we got to go here and take the pictures here because it's beautiful, and then we got to get back on the bus and drive around while you're in your fucking enslaving rented tuxedo that just fucking cuts the circulation off of everything. Your feet are swollen in the shoes. They're trying to force feed you alcohol because alcohol makes everything better. You know what I mean? Like, it's the worst experience in the world. And it's all because it's this day. It's this day that every girl dreams of. It's my big day. It's my big day. Oh, it's here. I love it. Take all the pictures. I want to look back at this day. Like, that shit ruins it.
Yeah.
Enjoy it for what it is. Get everyone you love in a room. Serve some fucking Buffalo Joes all you can eat out of a goddamn tray.
Ooh.
Like, who gives a fuck what's being served, who's serving it, anything. Just get with the people you love. Have a photographer take pictures, candidly if you want. Don't shuffle me around like I'm a fucking Jewish slave going from site to site. You're like, I hate all of that, bro. Like, if this is about love, let it be about love. If this is about Instagram, that's a different story.
All I know is if Buff Joe's caters your love ceremony, I will be there in whatever toga or whatever you're going to wear to this event.
I literally want to just get a space. I want to fill it with food and alcohol. All you can eat, all you could drink. Serve yourself.
Maybe a
Dessert
little marijuana.
table. We'll have a fucking bud tender. All that. And I'm going to say show up at 5 o'clock. Leave whenever you want, but come through and have a good time. I'm going to have a DJ playing, and that's it. If you want to fucking read something or say something, be my guest. Other than that, I don't give a fuck. I just want to be with the people I love, hang out, and have a good time. Because that's the best fucking time that I could think of. You know what I mean?
And really all you're doing essentially is celebrating that you found your somebody. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it should be. It shouldn't be this like over-the-top thing. Look, I'm monogamous. I believe in monogamy, and I believe in being with. I call her my wife, even though we're not legally married.
Yeah.
For the rest of my life, love her, but I don't believe in the traditional marriage.
It's crazy.
It's gone so far beyond because it's been exploited it's such a market. I mean, there's so many people. That's all they do is do weddings and. Everybody has a job, like you said, the photographer, like the coordinator, everyone's fucking doing something because this is what they do, and they do one do 3 of them every weekend, so they know that this is what we need to do, and we need to take a picture by this pastor, just like you said, and everybody, when everything you were describing, getting on the bus, I felt like having flashbacks to Nam because I'm thinking of every wedding that I've ever been to and being on those fucking little trolley buses and being like, this is so fucking stupid. Why are we doing this?
It's so bad. And here's the worst part about being in the wedding party. I feel like I suffered, and I'm sorry, I don't think George watches this, but if he does, I'm sorry, and I love you. I feel like I suffered being on that fucking trolley all day getting drunk because by the time it was, 9 o'clock and time to party and actually have fun, I'm drained. I'm dead, bro. I've been up since 10 a.m. drinking, running around, stressed out, doing all this shit. Now it's time to fucking party and have fun. I want to go to bed.
Yeah.
Fuck that, bro.
Welcome to
Fuck
being in your
all
30s.
Oh my God, that is the worst system.
Yeah.
Fuck that. We don't have traditions that we've carried into 2022 the way that we have the wedding.
Yeah, if we're going to change something.
What other kind of tradition have we taken with us this far?
If we're going to change something, I mean, everything's got to get changed, right? We're changing,
everything the way. Guys get pregnant now.
Yeah,
if guys get pregnant, we could switch up the fucking weddings a little bit.
That's what blew my mind so much when everyone's fighting for gay weddings and gay marriage is like, bro, at least bring something different to the table. Don't come over here. You don't want these kind of problems.
Like,
bro.
what are you doing?
You guys figured it out, not having to deal with
your own thing.
Trust me, we're trying to learn from you.
Yeah, you don't want this. I don't want this, and I know you don't want this.
Right. So, but I don't know what else to say about it.
It's fucking crazy, dude. It's literally crazy. And then the actual religious marrying part of the whole thing is fucking insane too.
Well, beyond the religion, the legalities of it. It's like, okay, well now sign these fucking court documents, and if that doesn't make you feel trapped, nothing will. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't want to feel like I have to be with that person. I want to be with that person.
Yes, 100%.
Because like making a legally binding contract doesn't create anything good. You're not going to want to love someone because of judge someone tells you have to.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah.
The things that we have done to ourselves, like we did this as humans, as
because
as
I was saying, not us, because we've actually now that I think about it, we kind of spearheaded this in if you remember Strategy and Dolo, circa 2017 into 2018. We talked about things that needed to go away in 2017, and one of the main things was weddings or just marriage in
general.
Yeah,
I think I do remember that. It's just crazy. It's mind blowing. Like I felt like I had time traveled. I'm standing up there on that altar or whatever it's called. All the groomsmen, they're getting married. It's a beautiful thing, but also at the same time, I'm like, what year is it?
What you're in a Greek Orthodox church,
standing
right?
in a church, and this guy is saying all these crazy things that, like, this looks like it came out of a movie from fucking 1500s. Like,
it's definitely
what,
a tradition thing.
And then we get back on the trolley and just start getting hammered again. Like, we're all hammered there. When we pause the fucking drinking and ridiculousness to listen to the church tell us things about how we need to be martyrs to God and like all this shit, and you're like, where the fuck am I? And then it's like, oh, it's all over. Like, go back to doing cocaine and drinking alcohol. You know,
Pretty
like,
much, yeah.
What the fuck, dude? It's a mind fuck. It's a mind fuck.
I mean, but if it made sense, would it even make any sense these days? I mean,
nothing makes
nothing's
sense.
allowed to make sense.
But here's how I'm gonna make sense of it all.
All right, what do you got?
You ready? You ready for my 10-year plan?
All right.
I started breaking this down for you in the car, and as I did it, I felt it sounded a little bit groomish, like grooming, which is not a good thing. So let me just start. Okay. Let me just start by saying that's not what this is. This is just my hopes for the future.
Okay.
That, this newer generation of people are much more accepting of whoever you want to be.
How dare you assume they're species?
They're accepting people. To me, they're a little overly accepting.
Yeah.
But I think that'll change in time, because if you remember,
the market corrects itself.
The market corrects itself. If you remember in 2015, 16, my brother was a full-blown activist.
Yeah.
He was a woke activist.
He was ahead of the curve.
Then he started to realize, like, well, hold on, this stuff's a little crazy.
Yeah.
Let me dial it back. Let me realign my thoughts. Yes, I still feel that every person is important and all these things, but also I now live in reality and I understand how that works as well. And now I have the ideas married and I have a better perspective of things. I think that same thing will happen to these fucking insane people that are saying and doing insane things. But the thing that I do like is that they're very open-minded, and you can be whoever you want with them. I want to be a guy that marries a woman but still has sex with other women. And I feel like my best bet, I want to be polyamorous.
Okay.
And I feel like my best bet for that is one of these up-and-coming stars, I'm going to call them. I don't want to call them kids because that's kind of crazy to say, like, these fucking once they're fucking 25, 26, 7, 8, 9, 30, I feel like their roots of open-mindedness mixed with their reality of living and time spent on Earth.
But it's not grooming if they're 18, and then you.
It's not grooming if I don't
be a little bit more cultured at 25.
It's not grooming if I don't have a specific person that I'm grooming.
Right.
This is just an idea.
Wait. So you're saying that these same people now, in 5-10 years, will probably be a little bit more calm.
I think that
I agree,
the next 10 years of life, actual life in the real world, will bring some perspective to them. Their roots rooted in open-mindedness, mixed with that, will hopefully create a better person.
I had a very similar conversation yesterday with my son at the mall, and it was because he's not woke, but a lot of his friends are, we'll say, and trying to explain to him reminded me a lot of when I was young and a lot of the people that were around me when I was, in the age of college. everyone, their freshman year of college is like super optimistic and wants to change the world and believes that everything that was created before by whoever was just a hypocrisy and it needs to be changed right now and new laws need to be written and they're fucking Cesar Chavez and they're ready to change the world, right?
Yeah.
And then by like junior year, they're like, okay, well, I kind of get it. It makes a little bit of sense. And then by the time they're 30, they're like, yo, this is it. There's a reason why things are the way they are. And there needs to be balance in the universe. And this is where it comes from. It's not always sweet, but that's life, right?
Yeah.
More or less. I believe that that's what's happening now or what will happen. But the difference is that children, young adults, have a platform to speak from. So whereas before it was kind of like, shut the fuck up, kid. We're listening to the TV.
We're talking. The adults are talking.
Adults are talking because we figured out how to control the system.
Right.
And we're talking. Now all the kids' voices are heard because they control the internet.
Yeah.
But they don't know the realities yet. So we're forced to live in their facade of a world.
Yeah.
And
that makes sense.
To us who know the world now, we're so dumbfounded and been like, what the fuck is going on here? But to them, their young minds are so optimistic that they make this fantasy world real.
Yeah.
And I think in moving forward, we got to get the kids to shut the fuck up.
We definitely have to not give them access to social media until they're fucking a certain age.
And I will say, as an adult who has a son who's 17, who pretty much grew up on his iPad. I mean, I was always there for him, but I'm not gonna say that. I'll come to grips with the fact that I probably should have spent more time with my son. But there was no iPad when I was a kid. I didn't know that, like,
yeah, you're like, oh, this is perfect.
I'm like, oh, he can learn. He can talk to his friends. Yeah. He has everything. And he doesn't have to be on the streets. This is such a better environment for him than the world I grew up in.
Yeah.
But now it's like, whoa, that was not it. Because now with my daughter, who's 7 months old, me and her mother, we've already agreed that she is not going to be on iPads at all until she's like maybe 13, something like that. Like, and if she is, it would be like monitored through one app that we could let her watch a movie or something. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But access to the internet, fuck no. That's out. And I think
wild place.
There's a lot of things that we're learning of macro sociology of young adults that we can't do this with the next generation. And I think even the kids agree. Because my son agrees with me on that. He's like, yeah, don't let her be on the internet. There's a lot of fucked up shit out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I, in the back of my mind, I'm not going to say I was completely naive because when I grew up, the internet did exist. But I guess we didn't really realize the outcome of this. It was like, yeah, okay, maybe the kid's going to see fucking porn when he sneaks away in his room, whatever. But we didn't think like, people are so connected that they could come up with these fucking fallacies of reality and just like push things into a fucking wild place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You want to turn that off or?
Yeah.
But I do like the rooted in open-mindedness thing.
Absolutely. And there's good things that have come from it. I'm not going to say it's all bad. But
there's good things that come. But I think one of the biggest problems is that when we're talking about like relationships, I think is it's hard to accept, like it's hard for a woman to accept a man for who he is, and it's hard for a man to accept a woman for who she is. If we're just talking regular shit, we're not talking binary and all that. Regular shit where actual babies are made because you need a man and a woman.
Oh, here he goes. Somebody's punching the air right now.
I think that it's fucked up because you can't really be accepted by a woman as a man, like a man that's like with the caveman brain. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's something that's inside of us. That is inside of us.
Genetically predisposed. It's not taught.
Yeah.
That's evolution. That's how we fucking procreated to make humankind.
And a woman has to understand that to really make to really love somebody, you have to understand who they are and not who their personality is
or
or
who they're
what they
pretending to
do,
be to get in your pants.
or who they're pretending to be. You have to understand that you are dealing with a man, or if you're a woman, you are dealing, or if you're a man, you are dealing with a woman. Like,
Right.
and you have to understand these creatures for what they are and who they do. If I love somebody and I want to be with them for the rest of my life, that's not ever going to stop me from wanting to fuck other people.
Right.
I can stop myself from fucking other people
Out of respect for the
out of
person.
respect and the fact that I love this woman and I want this love to work.
Yeah.
I can do that. That is a feature that I have.
Yeah.
But to expect me or any other man to just get rid of the feelings of wanting to fuck somebody else,
It's a
it's
fallacy.
not
Yeah.
possible. It's not.
it's
You
fallacy.
have to understand the creature that you are dealing with. That's like
But I
asking.
would
That's
even-
like trying to teach a dog how to meow.
But I would even go as far as to say that women are the same way. And I think that men, for the most part, have this this ego or whatever the situation is to believe that if she ever looks at another guy that she's a fucking whore and she doesn't love me and this that, and the other. But she has the same bug inside her
Yes.
that wants to procreate with as many things as possible. Now, that's not to say you can't be monogamous if you choose to be, because that's, again, something you're doing out of respect for the other person.
Yes.
But the reality that both men and women need to come to is that we all want to fuck everything that looks good.
Yeah, we all want to.
And sometimes things that don't look good, just for the hell of it.
Yeah, there's attraction. There's things in your brain that make you attracted to somebody or something or whatever the fuck it is. There's no turning that off. That's inside of you. That is a feature of human life.
And that's why God made porn.
That's why God made porn, and also Cialis, because once you're addicted to porn, you know you need the Cialis to fuck real women.
See, this is another sociological issue that we've come into in the last years. And this is when Trump wanted to do away with porn. I was like, this motherfucker's crazy. But then when I thought about it, I was like,
real talk.
maybe he was really trying to do something good.
That's the hardest part.
But I love
think.
porn. I love it. I love it. I
love
said
it
it.
too.
I fucking love it.
I love it too.
Even though I know it fucking destroys my testosterone levels or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
I fucking love watching porn.
I'm literally watching a porn. This dude is pulling his dick out of this girl's ass, and this other girl is just sucking it.
Oh,
down
those
her
are my
throat.
favorite. Those are my
and,
favorite.
And I'm thinking about I'm literally thinking of I've gone too far. I can't get this in real life. I am taking in something that I'm not really gonna be able to get in real life. You know what I mean?
So do you think that the porn maybe leaves like unrealistic expectations
Yes.
of a healthy
Yes.
sexual?
And also, it's like you've gone that far. It now takes that much. Like, that's what I like. If a girl takes her tits out, she's expecting oh, I'm naked. He's going to get hard. I'm like, tits?
Yeah,
Where's the
tits.
anal? And the other girl? giving
Where's the
blowjob.
pink sleeve?
Yeah, like it fucks you up. But here's the thing with the Trump trying to get rid of porn is I know that that's a good thing. In the end, we could all live without porn, like a better life. I think. But
when I go
but
without watching porn, I feel like more energy.
100%.
Crazy.
But that's also could be looked at from a different side, from a different perspective, as we're losing freedom.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? We
There's
have the
always
freedom to
gonna be
watch
a
that.
division of.
That's the hardest part about this whole thing is I think you have to truly let people live as free as possible. Make fucking all drugs legal, make everything, you know what I mean? You need to be as free as possible and make your own decisions. But then also at the same time, you're like, well, what about this? It's so hard to draw the line somewhere.
Yeah, because you could
know?
easily say, well, what about the people that have addicted personalities or alcoholism or whatever the fuck? And then you're like, well, now you're allowing them to drink and drive when they don't even have control of their own bodies because they have a chemical imbalance. You know what I'm saying? That they can't control their drinking or their drug usage.
But that's not. But even if all drugs were legal, I mean, they're all illegal right now for the most part.
Nah, unless you're in Oregon.
But that's never stopped an addict from getting drugs. You know
True,
what I'm saying?
but it might also encourage people to try things that never should have tried them. Because there are people that probably have that addictive bug in them that never found it because they never tried heroin. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, I mean, if you are an addict and you have an addictive personality, you don't even need to get to heroin to know that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Heroin's like that's far down the line. You start drinking, and the drinking is a problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like heroin is fucking next level shit. There's a lot of addicts and shit that don't even do heroin. But they're still fucking addicts.
I agree with what you're saying, but I will say that I don't think heroin should ever be illegal. I don't think that's a drug that should have ever been discovered. Nah, it's like the worst poison on the earth.
Yeah, it's not good.
I lost a lot of people to heroin.
Yeah,
and
sure.
not even just heroin, but also the fentanyl. That's another one that I fucking feel is just a destroyer of human beings.
Yeah, but then there's the argument of like if all drugs were legal and you could get good
and it could be
clean
regulated
drugs regulated, you're not worrying about doing a bump of cocaine in the bathroom and fucking dying because there's fentanyl in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's crazy to me. If I did cocaine, bro, I would have a tester for sure.
Well,
like that's like if you do cocaine, just test the shit before you do it.
So here's
it's not worth dying over.
Here's the disadvantage of living in a red state is fentanyl test strips you can get off Amazon and test a bump of cocaine to see if fentanyl's in it instantly. Yeah. But you can't order them if you live in Texas because they're illegal. But if I live in Chicago, it's legal.
Really?
Yeah. So there is some stuff that that's why I can't even say I'm a conservative because I don't agree with everything they do. Some of this shit is like over and beyond, and I'm like, all right, I was definitely with you guys with our freedoms with the fucking COVID thing, but about like fentanyl test strips being illegal because you think that no one's gonna. That's kind of
crazy. Yeah.
Because I'll be honest. I mean, it's no surprise. I do bumps every now and again, but I don't even want to do bumps anymore because I'm fucking worried that it could be fentanyl in it.
Scary, man. Yeah.
Because the littlest, tiniest bit of fentanyl will fucking kill you.
There's so many people have died just from doing cocaine.
So many.
Like not overdosing on cocaine, but just like doing it, and then you're dead because there's fucking fentanyl in it.
Also, if you're a fucking drug dealer and you put fentanyl in your shitty blow because you put too much fucking Tylenol and baby laxative in it to stretch it, fuck you. You're a piece of shit.
For sure. 100%.
And I'm that's what I don't shame anybody for the drug dealing shit. If anything, someone coming from that background, I get it. But I would never sell fentanyl. I wouldn't even sell fucking heroin. But I'm just gonna say fentanyl, especially if you sell that, you're a fucking piece of shit. Fuck you.
Yeah. It's not good at all. It's not good. But I do want to end the drug conversation with saying that I am an advocate for drunk driving.
Whoa. Wait, time out. I got to say, fuck you on that one.
I'm an advocate for drunk driving within the legal limit of the state you live in. Oh, I'm not 100%
well, then that's
sure
not drunk driving. That's tipsy driving.
Well, if you're drinking alcohol, you get if you can blow a .08 or whatever the legal limit is, you're drunk.
And cruising.
You're more drunk than you are sober. You know,
I feel like that's always. You ever get not to get off subject, but do you ever get in a fight with someone who's clearly an alcoholic when you're like, "Are you buzzed?" Or they're like, "No, I'm not drunk."
That's not.
Why do you think I'm drunk? And it's like, oh god, you're one of those motherfuckers.
That was my biggest complaint, like ever. Is like, you know, I'll be partying and shit in the club, and someone will come up, whatever. We're having a conversation. I'm like, "Oh shit, you're fucking drunk, huh?" And they'll be like, "No," like get mad at you, and you're like, "Well, you're here drinking. If you're not drunk, what the fuck are you doing? If you're not drinking to get drunk,
what the fuck are you doing?" You know what I'm saying?
You're drunk. I didn't say you're fucking throwing up on everyone and causing a scene. Yeah. Like, you're drunk. You're fine. You're having a good time. But yeah, you're fucking drunk. It's what it is.
Definitely don't like hanging out with those people.
It's the worst, dude. Yeah. The worst. The people that get upset when you tell them
it's like, listen, I don't know what fucking skeletons you got in your closet, buddy, but don't fucking bring them to the nightclub. Jesus Christ. Anyhow, but you were saying, driving a little tipsy.
I'm an advocate for drunk driving.
What's the legal limit? Is it not .08 anywhere? I thought that was like around the board.
I don't know. Well, every state's different. Like I know in Arizona, if you blow a .01, they can give you a DUI.
It's zero tolerance?
It's zero tolerance. If the officer is like you
at his discretion.
Yeah, it's at his discretion. If he considers you drunk, he can give you a DUI. But in a state like Illinois, where the legal limit is .08. I'm an advocate for driving within the legal limit, being drunk. I think that's a great time. Because what does alcohol do for you? It calms you.
Okay.
Right? What's better than being calm behind the wheel? rather than being like a nervous, like the people that get into accidents are like the nervous, like, oh, should I go? Oh, I'm gonna go. He's going. No, I don't know. You know, like that's how fucking accidents happen.
I see where you're going with this, and I'll agree with you to an extent because we're talking about the level of how fucked up they are.
Yeah,
now,
don't
if they're
get blacked
so fucked
out
that you like have to. And I've heard of people doing this, never myself, but closing one eye so you can see the fucking road straight. You definitely shouldn't be driving. Call a fucking Uber before you fucking kill somebody and end up in jail.
100%. But I just want to, I want to be the spokesperson for drinking and driving. I think that I can do that. There's a lot of people that are spokespeople against it.
Right.
I stand for drinking and driving within the legal limit of the state that you're in.
Have you ever seen that movie, Thank You for Smoking?
No.
You should watch it. It's pretty funny, but
yeah.
It's kind of like that. It's like a guy who works for Philip Morris, and like his job is to like get people excited about smoking, and why it's really not such a bad thing and stuff like that. Yeah, it's a great movie.
I love that. I love saying the wrong thing. There's nothing that makes me happier than saying the wrong thing.
That's pretty much all we do on this show. So
yeah, if someone ever heard me in public being like, "Yeah, fuck yeah, drink and drive, hell yeah," you know what I mean? They'd be like, "Oh, that's crazy," and then I'd be like, "Well, what if it's legal? What if it's within the legal limits?"
The great debate.
And I'd be like, "You're a fucking idiot. You fucking assumed my gender and my stance on drunk driving, and you fucking failed." Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Say the wrong thing. Do the right thing.
That's the way.
That's my motto.
Rather than being a politician and doing the opposite. It's
literally the opposite. That's what politicians do. They say the right thing and do the wrong thing.
100,000% of the time.
I am all about saying the wrong thing, doing the right thing. That's my shit.
I like that. I think it's probably a good place for us to end it off.
Yeah, and I'm going to go have a shot and drink and drive and fucking be safe about it.
Be safe about it.
It's like fucking. Nah, it's not.
No. You always got to fuck safely. Even if you put in just the tip, you can still get gonorrhea.
Yeah, but what's gonorrhea?
It's the Z-Pack away,
Curable.
Right?
Curable. You're good to go.
We'll say that.
Is AIDS even a worry these days?
Yo, here we go. So, take my son to get a physical yesterday.
They don't even do an AIDS test.
Dude,
they do a COVID test.
Listen to this.
They do a COVID test, not an AIDS test.
So we're in there, and she's like asking him, are you sexually active? And I'm ready for the speech to give him like, yo, you gotta be careful because your dick's gonna fucking fall off if you fuck, like that was kind of like the pep talk I always got as a kid, right? And so like right when I'm about to go in, she's like, she's like, are you sexually active? He probably hates if I'm saying this, but whatever. So she's like, are you sexually active? He goes, no. And I'm like, I'll go, but even oral sex, right? Because you could even get AIDS from that. And then I'm like, look at him. She's like, no. And I'm like, well, in that age group of the 17-year-olds, you probably see a lot of cases. She's like, no, we never see AIDS. I was like, what about chlamydia?
On the same team here.
I'm like, what about chlamydia or gonorrhea? Throw me something. So, yeah, chlamydia. Yeah, we get that all the time.
Yeah.
And then she's like, do you want to get tested for everything anyways? And then I'm like, she's like, but I wouldn't get tested for HIV/AIDS. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not fucking paying for this visit.
You gotta scare these goddamn kids.
You gotta fucking rule by fear. That's what we do.
That's literally what this country was built on. Absolutely. If you've ever watched the fucking news in the last 2 years, you'd understand. Rule by fear. Thank you guys for joining us. The Strategy and DOLO Show, Party with Strategy podcast. If you're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, drop a comment. Help your boys out with the algorithm a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Get the spark going. Let us know you're here with us. Comment on something you heard. Are you all about the abortions? Do you drink and drive while you're going to Planned Parenthood? What are you doing out there?
Please,
you know what I'm saying?
And if you ever disagree with anything we say, please tell us. We want to hear it.
Yeah.
We say these things purposely to piss people off. Get mad.
God damn it. We'll see you guys next time.